Hey, we're live. It's the Three Guys Talking Ball podcast here. We're back for another episode. And this is I think we're done going off with the numbers of episodes. We've reached a good amount here. I don't even remember what it is. It's like 139, something like that. It doesn't matter. We appreciate everybody tuning in and listening to what we have to say for about an hour every week. So, you know what? We're just going to call this one because this over the weekend we had the Miller Lite tournament champions again.
Again.
Hail, 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 hail the Doughboys, the champions of Rec 3 softball.
Now, how'd you guys get the name Doughboys? It's not like you're playing football and you're on defense and you're turning people over all the time. How does the Doughboys come to be a name, Dylan?
So we are we are sponsored by it's a company called Baker Boy. They make donuts, toast. They make it all. Like
Yes.
so we I don't know. We've been this team since we were sophomores in high school. So we've been playing together for a long time. There's about I think 4 or 5 of us that are still original members of the squad,
Oh, okay.
and we've been playing ever since. And we've got our first one, which is the shirt I am wearing. We got our first one in 2021 where we hit the cover off the ball. I don't remember the exact numbers, but it was like we outscored teams like 120 to like 49 or something along those lines, something outrageous.
So it
We
was
we hit the cover off the ball.
it's like you were that South Carolina women's team this year. No one was touching you.
Yeah, that's kind of
And
how it was. We had
UConn men, just a dominant run.
Yep, and we had some battles though. So that first year in 21, our second game of the day on that Saturday, we were it was in a back and forth affair. It was against a team that we played. They're basically kind of our rivals.
Mhm.
If it was actually playing for something a little bit more serious, we don't like them, they don't like us type of rivalry. Like,
If you're saying if there was a cash consideration on the line,
yeah, yeah.
that's fair.
I'm not ready to say that it's Michigan, Ohio State levels, but it's close. In Rec 3 softball on Tuesday nights in Dickinson, North Dakota, we it beating those guys feels good. You
It's
know,
not Michigan. It's not Michigan, Ohio State, but it's Michigan, Penn State. It means a lot for you guys, but it just you're not going to get people from all across the state watching. But regionally, people are tuning in. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, oh yeah. And we were playing. It was a back and forth game, and it actually goes into extra innings. So in softball, your extra innings, you start the guy who got the last out. You start at second base, and
Is this where MLB got its idea for the was it
it might have
Dickinson,
been.
North Dakota?
It might have been. It's actually like a USA softball like national rule, but
So you're just saying, just like how the NFL's new kickoff rule they got from the XFL, Major League Baseball got from USA Softball. So
maybe.
the best organizations in professional sports in this country, all they're doing is just stealing ideas from leagues below them.
Correct. Yes.
Sounds like the
And
American dream to me.
amen. And we had so they start on second. The first guy up hits a grounder over to third. Our first baseman drops it. As the guy's on second, he's running over to second. We have a first baseman, former college baseball player, slings the ball over to third, gets the tag. They have one out. The guy on that was running the first, he moves over to second. Next guy up hits an absolute laser out to left field. And that guy was going. The guy on second was coming home. And I was
Mhm.
catching at the time. And all I yell, Isaiah's out in left field. I'm like, Isaiah, home. Throws just a rocket. Perfect ball. I catch it, tag him. out. Their dugout goes berserk. Like one dude just completely Gronk spiked a water bottle,
Nice.
and then we get the third. I think the next guy up lines out to third. We go up. We got a runner on second. We hit one ball that just drops into the outfield. We win 15-14. Then we had to play. We had 4 games that Sunday. And the first game we played is at 7:40 early. And we came out hot. 20-run rule, game was over in 3 innings. Second game, the team we're playing, they hit the ball well. At the Spur Bar. We actually beat them in the championship yesterday. We hit the ball. We beat them like 22-11 or something. In the semis, we're playing a team that beat us the year before in pool play. And we put up 20 runs in the first 2 innings. We don't even play 3 complete 20-run rule.
So explain the 20-run rule to me. At one point, when you get up 20, the game's over, like that?
Yep. 20. If you're up by 20 after 3 innings, the game's over. 20 after 3, 15 after 4, 10 after 5.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep. And getting to the championship, and that was one of our tighter games, but we led the entire way. There were a couple of spots that got nervous. The championship game was played right at around the same time that the sun was right in people's faces. It was tough for our outfield to play. Our center fielder, Ty, he made a diving catch to end the game. We won 10-7.
Oh, very nice.
And so that was the 21 series. Now we'll go into this year's tournament. We started off against a team that we should never lose to, but they actually knocked us out 2 years ago in the opening round on Sunday. And we actually were robbed of a home run, of a walk-off home run. Guy in left field made a spectacular play, goes up, catches it, and we lose out. This game though, we got off to a hot start. We put up 5 in the first inning, and then we just kind of coasted. We had 5 in the first, and then we put up 6 in the third, and then another 4 in the fifth, and able to hold strong because we were the visitors. So we won 18-6. Second game of the day, we played probably a team that was it. In my 14 years of softball I've been playing, Grant, it might have been the worst outfield we've ever played against.
Like, just in terms of, were they slow? Were they misjudging balls all the time? They couldn't throw. Balls. The classic, when the balls hit to you and anywhere in the outfield, you take 2 steps in instead of 2 steps back, and then you're running for your life. It's just simple mistakes like that.
Something like that, yeah. Like by the third inning, nobody that started in their spots, like of when the game started, they were all playing different positions, trying to figure something out. And then they made a good run. They needed in the 5th inning, they needed 9 to keep playing, and they actually got the 9. And then we came back. We scored 2 in the top half of the 6th to go back up by 11, and we were able to finish them out, win 20-9. And that was it for the day. We were done by 11 o'clock, and then we had the fun and hung out all day. We didn't have to play till 12:20. Life was good. And then the
12:20 on Sunday?
Yeah, yep.
Nice.
We played Northwest Tire Ariba for our quarterfinal matchup, and it was it was a little bit of a struggle. They got out to a lead, I think they were up 4-1 on us. We were able to retake the lead in the 4th to go up 5-4, and then they took the lead back. I believe it was 6-5, and then we went 1-2-3 in the 5th, and then we were able to, in the bottom half of the 6th, retake the lead, go up 9-7 or 9-6. They scored 1 in the 7th, and we were able to hold them on defense and come away with a 9-7 victory to move over to the semifinals. And this was probably the most exciting, nerve-wracking, like we were dead in the water, not sure how we won the game, but we did. We got down in the fifth. We were down 20 or 19 to 7. We needed 3 to keep playing. Put up a 9 spot in the bottom half of the fifth. And it wasn't any big home runs. There were no home runs. We were just really patient at the plate. Their pitcher struggled finding the strike zone. He walked a few guys, and we were able to, credit to us because our discipline at the plate is not always the best, but it was this game, understanding the circumstances of the moment and able to find a way to come away with a victory we chip away. We get it to 16-19 in the fifth. They get one in the they get one in the top half of the sixth, and then we go, and then in the sixth, and then we go. So we were down 16-20. We score 4 to tie it, and then in the bottom half of the seventh, we are able to come away with a win as we had a pinch runner, a courtesy runner, excuse me, who Andrew, our cleanup hitter, big dirty Graf. He's Canadian. He's a good dude, though. You make fun of him for being Canadian, but still a good man. And courtesy run him and able to move him around and get in for a walk-off victory. And then it was quick. We had to move over to another diamond to go play the spur, like I was talking about. And it was a game that it never felt as close as what the score actually was. Here we were, and we put up 2 in the first, and I think they tied it. We put up another 2 in the second, 1 in the third. We were up. I think we got up to be about 5-3. We played really good defense. We found ourselves in a couple of tough spots, but was able to get out of it. And then in the fourth inning, that was our biggest inning where we were really to kind of put the pressure on them. That was the last time we scored. We put up 5 to go up 10-4, and they got 2 more runs in the sixth inning, but then that was as close as it was, and we ended up coming away with and they got one in the seventh, and we were able to hold them, hit a ground ball over to second base for the final out, and the champagne was popped. We all charged the field. We hugged. We cried. We laughed. We didn't cry. I'm just kidding about that. But it was a tremendous effort. We've had some ups and downs in the regular season, but us playing together, we believed in each other, and it was ultimately to win out. We made the plays when we had to, and I was just very proud of our group. So at this point, I'll open it up for questions.
So, Dylan, the first one, do you think with you guys dominating the way you did on Saturday, not having – well, I guess first off, it was hot here Saturday, so I'm guessing it was hot up there for you guys. Not having to play in that afternoon heat helped you preserve your energy for Sunday to make that comeback?
In theory. With it being hot out and you're at a softball tournament, there are some beverages that are going to be flowing, especially after 2 wins. They're going to taste a lot better.
Yes.
And as you can see, I kind of got a little bit of a good base. You can kind of look on the shoulders there. Good base for when I go to Florida next week. But put it, if we were to play at 7:40, we might have been in a different situation, but luckily we didn't. So we had enough time to kind of recover and get ourselves ready. Even though Sunday, our energy levels weren't overly high. It felt like we came out flat, but we were able to finally get a spark. We hit some big plays, like I talked about in that fourth inning, where we were able to kind of seize the momentum of that first game. And then the hardest part with these softball tournaments is because is getting through that first game. And then after you get through that, you feel good. You can kind of ride that momentum, ride that wave, and it's like, all right, we're okay. We got that one out of the way. Let's just go play.
And then secondly, so you mentioned it was a warm summer day. The beverages were going down. 2, if you didn't have to play till 12 on Sunday, so I guess part 1, what time did you wake up? And 2, how did you feel on Sunday?
Well, so now, I get asked this question a lot about what time did I wake up, because what time did I initially wake up, or what time did I actually start getting out of bed? Because those are two different questions. Because I woke up and I looked at my phone and it said 5:18. And I was like,
oh,
well, that's not good. I want to go back to sleep. And I was able to go back to sleep till about 7. And I was dehydrated.
mm-hmm.
I brushed my teeth when I got home, and I brushed my teeth in the morning when I got up. And while I was sitting in church on Sunday, I could still taste the Coors Lights on my tongue from the night before. So I was able to push through, but I'm not gonna lie. When I went and started warming up for our first game, and I was running a pole, I may or may not have thought I was going to have a heart attack.
That's how all good softball stories usually start. And like you said, you guys powered through and got the win, so it was worth it. Do you think? And then also, do you think with the way you guys felt, that's why you came out a little slow on Sunday,
It could
a
have
little
been.
sluggish?
That probably played a part in it. But we had enough build, enough resolve to say that we can't let this affect us. And, we were able to push through, because we all knew, we took second last year. We got 10 ran. We lost 35-25 in the championship game. And we didn't want, it was completely different. We won this tournament a completely different style than the way we played when we won it 3 years ago, where especially against Georgia's Tire, we had that inning where they got hot and that were able to extend that lead to 19-7. That was probably one of our worst fielding innings of the tournament. We were still able to bounce back, and I wouldn't say we played probably our A performance. I would say we were closer to a B level, but we played well enough, played well in the spots we needed to play. I think our experience in the previous years really helped us, knowing that we were where we've been, because the 3 years before we won it, we were leading going into the bottom of the 6th or top of the 7th, depending on if we were home and away. And we ended up losing by 1 run in the final inning those 3 straight years. And, so we had the experience of coming back, and that ultimately was what helped us get over the hump, where, those previous 3 years, when we got down, it just took the air out of us. We were, in the dugout, we were always positive. We were always encouraging each other. Let's go. We got this. We're all right. And, that bounce back led us to where we were.
So then, I think you may have answered this question already, but I want more of a direct answer. There was no glove thrown on the ground. Nobody kicked the fence in the dugout on this comeback. There was no crazy epic speech that someone gave. You guys just kind of hunkered down, stayed to the game plan, and had a hell of a comeback.
That's right. We're not the team we're not huge for the for the big pump up speeches. I've tried giving those, and I've gotten not the greatest responses. So I will read you what I sent the on Friday night. You know, being the manager, you have to be the responsible one, setting the lineup, getting people ready, getting us ready to peak at the right time. And if I send out a fiery text message the night before, you don't know if that's going to affect our sleep. You don't. There's a lot of factors that could, because you don't want them peaking the night before. You want them ready to play right at game time. So all I said was, lights out no later than 10 p.m. Boys. Wake up call at 6 a.m. Team stretching starts at 7 a.m. Make sure you're hydrating properly and eat a good meal that doesn't involve chicken, unless it's in the form of a wing. Don't need y'all running around like a bunch of nervous birds out there tomorrow. Let's go have some fun and kick some ass. It's going to be a fun weekend. That's what I said Friday. So on Sunday, when I woke up, I just said, fire the fuck up, boys. It's game day. LFG with a Ric Flair. Woo! Because, of course, you got to give the Ric Flair woo. And then, when we figured out who we played, I just said, let's go slit their throats. And yesterday when I woke up, I said, game day, boys. We got unfinished business from last year. Let's take care of it today. No one I'd rather share the field with than y'all. LFG.
And then, so you mentioned you guys, of course, won. We saw the trophy earlier. Why did you get the trophy? Just because you're, quote, the manager and in charge? How did that trophy end up at your place?
That's right. I am the manager. I set the lineup. I set the batting order. It was given to me when we collected our award, and I was the one that got it. This is the game ball from the final out, and I have one more behind us, but this one feels really good. And it's a sweet trophy too. Look at that.
It is nice.
So, I don't know if you got the picture from last night that I sent, but I don't think anybody else would want it.
Were you strapped?
We don't have to share what it was, where it was.
Oh,
but
okay.
You if you know, you know.
If you know, you know, and I know.
If you know, you know.
So then, have there been talks about repeating as Miller Lite champs? Because this year, Dylan, as we've discussed, it is the year of the repeat champions. So have you guys discussed that already, or are you just trying to get better every single day?
We're just trying to get better every single day right now. We still have a lot to play for during the season here. We still got a couple of weeks left of league, and then we got the league tournament. And we haven't won a league tournament in probably 7 or 8 years. So I would like to get back and win one of those too. So we still got a lot to play for this year.
And now, Dylan, lastly, in one of the group chats, Ethan and I have learned so much from you and Dana about North Dakota slow pitch softball. Do you guys feel like you're ready to take on the big dogs in Fargo? And if so, when and where?
Anytime, any place, anywhere. It don't matter. The Doughboys are coming. Rain, blood, shit, or mud. The Doughboys are coming.
And if this were to happen, would you be able to get Ethan and I up there to catch this game?
Yeah, we could make it work. We could make it work. So, Dana has it seems like they're scared. He kind of made some excuses as to why they don't come out this way and play. So I think they're a little bit scared, and rightfully so. They don't have 2 Miller Lite championships like we do.
That's correct.
So,
well, and also, I'll be that guy. Dana roots for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, so he doesn't have that killer instinct in him.
No, he doesn't. And, Notre Dame, their best win in the last 25 years is against a team that was 7-5 that couldn't tackle the school of the deaf and the blind. So, I really don't care about what Notre Dame thinks, does, or says. As Vance Valesky, shout out Vance, one of our pitchers for the day or for the weekend did a great job. Just commented on Facebook that said run it back, and yes, let's run it back, Vance.
Mm-hmm.
But that I think that wraps up the Miller Lite Championship talk here. It was a fun weekend. Can't wait to do it again. But we got bigger fish to fry because if you bought the deluxe edition, NCAA college football, or no, it's college football 25 is out. But I saw a good meme over the weekend, Grant. It was the Joey and Phoebe. It was college and Joey repeating college football,
Mm-hmm.
football 25, 25, college football 25, and then it goes Joey, NCAA football 25.
I like that. I like that a lot.
And I did of course get the deluxe edition, and I have played it. I haven't gotten a lot. I got one series in so
Now,
far. I'm actually
now,
only like 3 plays in.
are you a dynasty right now? Or are you just doing a quick exhibition game to get your feet wet again?
Nope. I did a dynasty. I am the offense. Like I said, I am the offensive coordinator at Texas State, and we have, we were playing FCS Midwest in our first game. I thought about running 4 verts. I thought about throwing a deep ball, but just to kind of get those nerves out, I just went with good old 26 deal. We got 5 yards. I've only ran 1 pass play so far. When we wrap up the show here, I'm going to go back and start playing it until, I don't know, who knows. Hopefully, maybe 9, 10 o'clock here. So, stay tuned. Initially, like the playbook, I like the way it's set up. It's the graphics are a little bit different. I don't know how I'd describe it, but it's similar kind of to the way Madden is, but it's not fully Madden-y. I haven't gotten the vibe that it's, terrible Madden, but it definitely has some perks. The passing, it's very much dependent on you're holding your finger and throwing lobs or darts. I still am not good at trying to figure out how to throw a better lob ball. But right now it's just been short, quick passes, getting the ball out on time, getting quarterback in rhythm.
Now FCS Midwest, or are we thinking that's South Dakota State, North Dakota State,
I don't
some
know who
school,
Texas State plays their first game of the year.
Central
Here,
Missouri? We're just curious.
It might be. You never know. They are in the Fun Belt.
The Fun Belt, Sun Belt.
Yep. They are playing Lamar.
I think that's a school in Texas,
I think it is too.
but I don't know.
So that's who we are playing right now at the moment here, and I'm excited to dive deeper in.
I wonder if Hayden announced who he's playing, who he's starting his rebuild with, because I saw the poll there on the Armchair page, and I voted for Utah State.
Okay, and I went with South Florida. I went with South Florida because I have actually the reason why I chose Texas State is because before my boy Steve, shout out to Steve Cook, by the way, who got married over the weekend. He before he went to Texas State, he was at South Florida. So as being the writer that I am, you got to vote with South Florida. So I'm not sure who he ended up going with, but
like I said, I voted for Utah State.
It was between South Florida and Utah State. I think he also had James Madison in the poll.
To me, though, no, it wasn't James Madison. Appalachian State.
Oh yeah, nope, definitely not picking those. Picking
No.
them, I can't do it. That's
I forgot about
speaking
that.
of Appalachian State. If there was one team that I wish NDSU would have been able to play in back
Mm.
back in the day, it would have been App State. I would have loved to see NDSU at their best, App State at their best, because they're
Just a clash of styles.
yes, because they're the team that beat Michigan. I want to say is in the discussion for one of the best college football or FCS teams of all time, but
Yeah.
I would still probably put them third or fourth down on that list behind three NDSU teams. And there's one team that it's a big what if that I truly think that if they would have had a season in 2020, that 2020 team would be by far and away the greatest FCS team of all time. Just looking at the talent that they had on that roster coming back, and it did not get they didn't get their fair shake.
Because what would you say is the best team? The 19 team?
I don't know if I would say the 19. For me, it would be either the 13 or the 18 team. Brock Jensen senior year or Easton Stick senior year. But I mean, if I really sat down and thought about it, I think as far as talent goes, I think you probably would have to go the 18 team,
Yeah.
just because they had more NFL talent on that roster and more guys that were playing in the NFL. But man, that 13 team, that they hold the
They were
special
dominant.
place in your heart because that was the class that completely turned around the program.
Yeah, and that was the win in Manhattan on that Friday night too.
Yeah. But now we've had enough NDSU talk. They're still going to beat Colorado. You can book that. We both grew up playing the game NCAA football, so we are going to go with each do our Mount Rushmore of college of guys we like to play with in that game. So in typical three guys talking ball fashion, we're gonna go with the hats, and we're gonna choose here. The first pick is me.
Hey.
And then Grant, you're second. So with the first pick, I gotta go with my guy. I gotta go a Michigan man. I gotta go with Denard Robinson. Running the read option with him was lethal, unstoppable, and a lot better thrower in the video game than he was in real life, and it helped. But I've won a few Heismans with Denard Robinson playing NCAA football.
That's more than fair. In all honesty, I'd have to go back when I first started playing, and this was, we were still in elementary, middle school, and it was Vince Young and the Texas Longhorns, Dylan, but we weren't running the read option. We were running the speed option.
Oh, yeah.
Because
he's actually my second pick too. Was
yep.
Vince Young was running the speed option with Vince Young and Jamal Charles. Good luck.
Yeah, nobody was going to stop that.
So you want to hear a funny story about that? It was the first NCAA game I bought. It was NCAA 05 with Larry Fitzgerald on the cover, and I was pretty heartbroken after Michigan lost to Texas in the Rose Bowl, and so it was my mission was I am just going to destroy Texas and Vince Young, and I went and I started playing. Couldn't beat him. Couldn't stop him. So I just was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to play with the guy.
Yeah. If you can't beat him, join him, right?
That's right. Now, who is your second pick?
Second pick. So this is it's an interesting one because I don't think many people are gonna think about this, but We're going an old Arkansas wide receiver in Greg Childs.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah. But it's just with him and Jarius Wright, Ryan Mallett throwing the ball, rest in peace, Ryan Mallett. That Arkansas offense was so much fun to have. And Greg was just a impact player of an impact player and was just an absolute animal. And I could just put up some serious points with that Arkansas team. And Dylan, as you know me, I've always liked the Razorbacks. Um, I just it's kind of a cool logo. It's interesting. It's something different, and maybe they've kind of felt like an Iowa of the SEC. You know, a smaller brand, a big brand, and they had some good teams. When they were younger, they're kind. When we were younger, they're kind of struggling now. But Greg Childs and that Arkansas offense in the Petrino days, so much fun to play with.
Okay. Okay. My third is I gotta go with Johnny Manziel. Same thing as Denard Robinson. You could not catch him. Had great arm speed. Him throwing the ball up to Mike Evans. It was an unstoppable combination.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he was like the highest rated overall player of all time in that NCAA video game.
Yeah. Ooh, number 3 here. I'm gonna have to go with Trent Richardson.
Oh,
The
interesting.
dude was just an absolute animal, and you could throw in any Alabama running back, but especially Richardson, behind that big, powerful offensive line that Alabama had, you could literally just run halfback dive and power all day. You could have you'd have 4 70-yard touchdowns, 300 yards on the ground, and you could just absolutely maul people. So give me Trent Richardson.
Okay. And now Grant, you went to Fayetteville. I'm going down to Fayetteville too, and I'm going to go with Darren McFadden. Him with Felix Jones running the wild hog. You could just alternate series with him, and you ISO dive, power, toss, reverse. You could get like the formations. You could get it lined up to where McFadden's out at receiver, and it's a toss to Jones, and he comes around on the reverse. They were unstoppable, those two.
Mm-hmm. And last but not least, I mentioned a wide receiver earlier. I'm going to go with another one, but this time we're going to Morgantown, West Virginia, and Tavon Austin.
Ooh, great choice.
Tavon, he was just the human highlight reel. And that West Virginia offense back then, they were just putting up points left and right. And, that was the team. They were Oregon, but they weren't as cool as Oregon because they didn't have the uniforms and they were West Virginia. But boy, when Tavon was going, he was just something special. And you could line him in the slot. And Gino, you could line him in the slot. You could have him be outside. He could be a running back. Just anything and everything. Tavon was an absolute monster.
And well, now that we're on the topic of West Virginia, the combination of Pat Smith, Steve Slayton, and Noel Devine, also a dominant force that you weren't going to stop.
Yes.
And I'm trying to think who else was I had. Oh, Zach Robinson and Des Bryant at Oklahoma State, another dynamic duo that was impossible to beat. Those ones really stick out in my mind. I'm trying to think here. Who else? Brian Brom from Louisville. He was another pretty good one too. That did not have a good pro career, but was an incredible player in college.
You could say that same thing too about Landry Jones and that Oklahoma team in NCAA 12.
Oh yeah, they were a wagon.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But that was that. That's our Mount Rushmores. Hope you guys enjoyed that. We got one more segment before we get out of here.
Hey, Dylan, real quick.
Yep.
Real quick. The one player you weren't able to play with that you wish you could have when they took the game away.
Ooh. Oh. I think like Deshaun Watson would have been fun. Man, there's
Mhm.
so many. Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's the ultimate one.
Lamar Jackson was going to be the one I would have said, but I think if you're looking at since you mentioned him, Saquon.
Saquon too. Yep. Yeah. Saquon would have been a monster. He would have been. He would have broken a few TV screens on people.
100%.
Or just play with NDSU playing the Fargo Dome. That would have been sweet. Got to play with them in NCAA basketball, but someday hopefully be able to play with them in NCAA football here. But it is time for curveball of the week here. I guess who did you said Saquon. So is that you got anybody else or is that
Saquon? I mean, Zeke was a dominant player, but he wasn't as sexy as Saquon.
he was in the game though, technically.
Technically.
He was a freshman. He's my age.
Yeah, technically. A guy like, well, Joe Burrow wouldn't have been that good at someone like, Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray.
Oh yeah, Kyler would have been a good one.
Kyler would have,
going back to a honorable mention though too, and we didn't even mention a defensive player, but Jadeveon Clowney was an absolute menace in that game.
God, I couldn't. Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, I'm sticking with Saquon.
Okay, all right. Well, it is curveball of the week here, and mine is I kind of didn't really think about this. Is one I've thought of for a while here. But what is your biggest serial killer tendency, Grant?
Biggest serial killer tendency.
Or something that would give off some serial killer vibes.
This is I think a good one here. It goes back to when I had knee surgery last year, and I was in that big bulky brace for 6 weeks. Well, that brace, Dylan, was so big and so bulky. I would be very hot at night when I would sleep with the sheets on and the covers, and I would be almost uncomfortable. So one night I had, when I had the brace on, I just kind of laid in bed, just on top of the sheets like an absolute animal. And at that point, that's when I was able to get some of the best sleep I ever had. So maybe every once in a while where, let's say I fall asleep on the couch here downstairs, and if I'm just super tired and I just want to go to bed, I'll literally just lay on top of my sheets, almost like I'm in a drunken state where you're too lazy to change your clothes and actually go underneath the covers. So I'll say sleeping on top of the sheets would be my biggest serial killer tendencies. Yes.
All right. So mine would probably be is that I listen to my podcast on 2 times speed. It's too slow when it's in just a regular speed. I can still comprehend everything. I have a lot that I like to listen to throughout the day, and it helps get through it. I can hear it. I can talk about it, and and people listen to it. I got called out on it today. Every time my dad's in a car with me, he's like, "How do you hear this shit?" And I'm like, oh, you just got to train your mind to do it. So
some people are just built different, Kerry.
I listen to my podcast in 2 speeds or double speed. So
double speed. Interesting.
That wraps up the this week's episode, the Miller Lite Championship episode of the Three Guys Talking About podcast. We're not going to have a podcast next week. Like I said, I will be releasing my fourth quarter reaction to Michigan winning the national title when they beat Washington. Seemed like the Rose Bowl reaction got some good views. Got some people seem to really enjoy. So you know what, we're gonna go with we're gonna release the fourth quarter. It's about 46 minutes. Got to get it uploaded. I'm not sure which day, so stay tuned. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube so you don't miss when it drops. And we will be back in 2 weeks to talk about who knows what's going to happen. We might, we're training camp starting soon, so probably have some Hard Knocks reviews. But that wraps up this episode. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll talk to you. Oh wait, what was that? Oh, you dirty girl. Okay, guys, we gotta go. We'll talk to you later. Bye.